Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a tutorial on my retouching workflow. This is going to be a speed retouching workflow. So I make sure I unlock the layer and duplicate the layer first before I start anything at all in case of mistakes. Here I'm using my patch tool. Sometimes I use my spot healing brush tool or clone stamp tool, whatever works for me at the moment. So here I'm using my spot healing brush tool. Take out the spots. Luckily she doesn't have so much spots on her face, so it makes my work really easy. I try to smoothen out her hair too, not so much too, because I don't like when everything looks too much. You get like the person I'm retouching for at the moment likes his work really smooth and natural as possible, so I don't take out anything that's not to be taken out. I don't take out burnt marks. I just take out the pimples, the creases on her chin, the smile creases by her smile. Anyways, so like she doesn't have so much pimples, which makes my work very easy. So I'm just going to be taking out whatever needs to be taken out basically. And I'm going to be doing that for a bit. Then I don't create my layers from scratch because it's actually a really stressful thing. So I mean, like, why work hard when you can work smart? So yeah, I'll employ everybody to get Touching Academy panel. It makes everything easy, but before you start with your frequency separation and all of that, you have to take out the creases. Then frequency separation does the remaining job for you. Yeah, he just smoothens it out. And also I use my frequency separation. For this I use 16 bits because it is a portrait. If it's a full picture I use 8 bits. So I use my 16 bits. I use my mixer brush tool. I tend to change my brush size as I go, because if you use one brush size, you're supposed to be brushing from the shadows to the highlights. You're supposed to be blending in the shadows and the highlights so it all smoothens out perfectly. But if you use one brush, it just makes everything look like plastic. You're just plastering. And when you check your before and after, you might not really notice right now, but when you check your before and after, then you see that, okay, this is too much. So I use my mixer brush to change my brush size as I go. I smoothen out the skin tone, and I don't do it too much because it tends to I tend to lose the sharpness of the picture. But this picture I have a problem with it because it is in JPEG. As much as I hate retouching JPEG, I just had to do this for the guy because he apparently lost the raw file of this picture, but we have to make do with what we have anyways. So I retouch, I brush, I use my mixer brush tool, I brush over and everything. Then while I'm brushing this person, I'm probably going to have to do a full retouching tutorial on everything, because this person I retouch for doesn't like dodge and burn. I have no idea why. So like when I'm doing my frequency separation, the nose area, I just tend to line it a bit so it gives it the shape. It gives the nose that slim shape it's supposed to have, but that I cannot use dodge and burn for. And I don't know, so I just do that anyways. While blending the nose highlights and shadows together, I just tend to give the nose the shape it has with frequency separation instead of having to use dodge and burn, which this client clearly does not like. But that's fine. That's okay. I just retouch basically. That. Yeah, I think I'm talking too much. Okay. So yeah, I mean, when you're doing your frequency separation, you should zoom in and out at intervals to see what you're doing from afar and see what you're doing up close. It helps because I mean, like when you post on Instagram, for example, people don't really zoom in. Do you get, like, the only set of people that feel zoom into your picture on Instagram are creatives like you and I, or creatives generally, who want to see what the texture of your skin is and all of that. So they tend to zoom in. So if you did not blend it well, they won't. But for the public eye, for everybody else that is looking at it, they just look at it from afar. So while you're zooming in and out and doing your frequency separation, you should do it, zoom out and see what it looks like, then zoom in and continue working, so that at first glance people will not see, at first glance people will see that, okay, you did a great job, before they tend to like zoom in and want to see. So like, yeah, you should zoom in and out to see that it works. And imagine you're done retouching and you didn't zoom out at all, you're just done retouching, and by the time you're done with your frequency separation layer, you now realize that, oh, I did rubbish. Just imagine, you now have to go back and delete the layer. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of stress. Frequency separation can be annoying, especially if you're not using Retouching Academy, if you're having to create your layers from scratch, and it's just too much work. So yeah, don't forget to blend the knuckles in with the skin. Knuckles tend to be darker than the normal skin, no matter the complexion. So don't forget to do that. Blend the skin away. Yes, I use Portraiture just after I do. My retouching is quite straightforward, so I just use Portraiture. I make sure I pick on the highlights because I want my picture to look bright as well and smooth. Sometimes I reduce the opacity right after I put my Portraiture, because it looks too smooth. Yeah, it's smooth. It's supposed to look smooth, but I need to keep some of the originality. I need to keep the textures and all of that. So yeah, I just reduce my opacity a little, zoom in and out and see what that looks like. I'm still going to, I'm not sure I'm going to add sharpness to this picture, because this person I'm retouching for, like I said, does not like, it doesn't like everything looking too bish. So yeah, this is the part where I whiten the eyes and whiten the teeth. You have to zoom in properly, especially if the teeth is not well, it's not so obvious, but you still have to whiten it. It gives the picture some kind of pop. You won't really notice until you zoom out and you do your before and after, then you say, ooh, okay, this looks amazing. Anyways, it gives the picture some kind of pop. So yeah, you whiten the teeth, but you have to be very careful with it. Whiten the eyes too. Sometimes, you whiten the eyes. You whiten the eyes. You can reduce the opacity layer later, because the eyes shouldn't be too white. Whose eyes are that white really. And while I'm doing this, I just brush on the iris a little bit, just to give them the eye this transparent look. It makes the eye pop as well. For especially when people are on contact. I don't know if this is on contact or this real eye color. I really cannot tell, but yeah, most times when I have models on contact, or when I have the lights really on their eyes, I tend to make their iris a bit lighter. It gives the eye this kind of pop that makes it look really beautiful. The first thing that attracts you to every image is the eyes. Like when you look at an image, the first thing you see is the eyes, and then it's like, oh my god, this picture is really beautiful. This girl's eyes are really beautiful. Like, do you get the idea? So yeah, it would be nice to whiten the eye too. Yeah, something like that. Then, I have to add the pop of color to my pictures. So I add levels. Is as good as contrast, but yeah, it's as good as contrast, but it makes it, I mean, it just gives the picture this sort of depth that I really don't know how to explain it. So there's this amazing depth that comes with levels. Ever since I found out levels, how many years ago, I don't know, every of my picture must be, I don't know, it just gives this picture some sort of depth and crisp. I don't know. You should try with your pictures, and well, I'm sure you try with your pictures anyways. So yeah, I was trying to take out the brush strap. This is why you should do everything you need to do before you start frequency separation. Everything just, I totally forgot. Like when I finished editing, I was like, okay, this brush strap looks off. Why not just take it out so it looks like she's not wearing anything? But I mean, I could not go back, and so this is going to look odd. I tried to create a new layer while merging every of my previous layers, but it just looks odd. It's just best to do all of this before you start your frequency separation. That is why I make this mistake a lot. You need to check your pictures thoroughly before you create that frequency separation layer. It just makes your work easy. So no, I'm not removing the brush strap again, because it's going to make my work look really somehow. Yeah, so yeah, I had to add vibrance to make the pictures pop, make the colors pop, dragging the skin tone. Personally, if I was the owner of this picture, I think I'll make my model's skin darker. I have a knack for dark skin. Like, I just tend to make everything darker. And besides, she's kind of chocolatey. She's not, she's kind of chocolatey. So I'll just make her look darker, you know. Everything just looks beautiful on dark skin. But I'm not being, you know, light skin is beautiful too. But, like, it's just my personal preference. So I just make everything. But it's not my picture. So I just have to make her skin pop as much as I could. So, well, yeah. You can see the before and after. And all of that. I don't know. I hope you like the picture anyways. Hit me up for any more well, you can comment in the description below if you can comment if you would like me to make any more videos. Obviously, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm going to be making more videos as the time goes. I think my next video will be me retouching a dark skin, so you see my, like, a proper, like, my own photo, so I can do and undo with the image and all of that, and it's going to be a raw picture too, so I can really undo and undo with the image, and it's going to be nice. So thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. See you next time.